Speaking of other cities, Gareth, and especially SDG champions, 2 weeks ago, with the United Nations Global Sustainability Index Institute Foundation, you organized and you hosted, especially on Wednesday, 9th of September, a panel about health for cities. Can you share with us some of the main insights?
Yeah, sure. I can assure everyone in the audience that we weren't wearing bathrobes. So that's a certainty. But yeah, it was a very successful conference. It was the second of our SDG Champions Conference. You attended the first one in Espoo, and it was a follow-up to our SDG conference in Davos earlier this year, which you also attended, Jean-Guy. So it was really to kind of catch up and see where we're at. And I suppose there was some interesting insights for the group and for the audience around, financing the SDGs. How are we going to finance this? And we had a panel with the Climate Investment Fund Chief Executive Officer was there, Mafalda Girardi. We had the former president of NASDAQ, for example, Alfred Berkeley. These are partners of ours. And they were given an insight into, yes, look, the capital is there. We also are partners with the faith groups as well that we're working closely with in terms of financing these projects. And I think it's important to understand the context of COVID-19 and the pros and cons, as everyone here has said, the economic crash. So if we put that into context, we've had 400 million jobs which have been displaced, or lost. But on the other hand, if you look at the top 32 companies in the world, they've profited up to over 100 billion. And if you look at what they've done in terms of their kickback towards COVID, it's only about 0.5%. So I think the question here is really, when we develop these new businesses and new ideas, we have to look at how do we create circular economies and how do we invest in companies that reinvest back into the community. And that's very much along the lines of what we do in terms of the WIS. We're a platform and we'll establish ourselves as an e-commerce platform. Our business model is to generate value and to reinvest back into the community. So it's very clear that in the future, our model and our shift towards purpose will go that way. So if you do good locally, you will get good and people will support you. So I think we're going to see a seismic shift. And that also goes for investors, because if we look at investors from the conference as well, they're now looking for sustainability, and they're also going to invest in companies that do good, which also brings a return, because if you do good, you get good. You'll also get more clients. So some of the key points that you mentioned there, we had Sikkim who joined us. They've joined the program in India. Very much looking forward to how we work with them, because they're organic. So they're all into organic food. They're a small city, Gangkok, near the top of near Nepal. And then we had a couple of other points around how will we move and shift towards, shall we say, mobilization of a lot of people. We have the concerts that we're working on with the Vatican at the moment. We'll have more details out on that. So we're supporting the SDG 1, No Poverty, which Pope Francis initiated. So we'll be launching details around how we support the city. So it was an interesting few days. All the recordings are there up online. People can watch them. They're all on our website as well. So, please don't be in despair. There is hope. I think we all have ideas here around how we move forward. But the wellness sector, I believe, will drive a lot of change because it's purposeful. Health is wealth, so we have to understand that.
I was looking for the URL of your website where people can see that. Is it wis.com?
WIS.uk, and you can also, if you just look at the ungsii.org, you'll also find information there. You can see our publications, all our YouTube videos, all the recordings from the sessions last week are up there as well. And if anyone wants any further information, I can post it in the chat box later.
Excellent. Yes, because usually websites in the UK are name of the company.co.uk, but in your case, it is really WHIS.UK with lots of information, and of course, ungsii.org.